everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our Zoom postgame press conference. As a reminder, we ask that you keep yourself muted throughout the duration of this press conference so that the speakers are able to be heard. Please ensure that your Zoom name displays both your name and your affiliation. If you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand. The raise your hand function is accessible from the participants tab on the bottom menu. I'll be selecting media members to ask questions throughout, and I'll unmute you and lower your hand when it's time to ask your question. As a note to everyone, we will not be having a media availability prior to the Coppin State game on Tuesday. So we will start with questions on West Virginia, and we do hope to have time for one or two about Coppin State at the end of this press conference. So our first question will go to Kareem Copeland from the Washington Post.
Hey, Patrick, you guys held in there for, pretty much until, I guess, almost underneath that last 10 minutes. I'm curious just what changed. Obviously, you guys got into some foul trouble. Was that the biggest thing, or did they just kind of wear down on you guys eventually?
Just by looking at the box score, our turnovers, they got 21 points off our turnovers. We cannot continue to turn the ball over at this alarming rate. And also then they shot 33 free throws. That's where the game is right there. If we did a better job of not fouling and then not turning the ball over, everything else was equal. We did a great job of limiting their two big guys, but then we fouled so many times, and then we turned the ball over way too many times.
Were you happy with that post defense outside of the fouls?
Yeah, for the most part, I thought we did a very good job of defending them. Both of them came in as two of the most dominant bigs in the country. When we did a very good job of digging, doubling, and mixing up our coverages and limiting them.
Thank you.
We'll go to Ron Bailey from Rivals and the Hoyer Report.
Hi, Coach. Two questions. What was the impact of their doubling Wahab early in the second half? Do you think it kind of took this steam out a little bit? And then number two, I know you wanted to push the rock, apparently. Were you happy with the decision-making when you guys did so?
Definitely not happy with the decision-making because we turned the ball over. I want to run, but if we're gonna run, we have to make, the right decisions. And not just because you think somebody's open. If they're not open, you got to move the ball. And yes, they doubled them, but also we work on it every day when we're getting doubled is what we want to do. And our execution just wasn't right.
Thank you.
Our next question goes to Aiden Curran from 12.06 Sports.
Hey, Coach. Your three grad transfers had 11 turnovers tonight, and Blair and Pickett had 3 between the two of them as well. How concerning is it to you to have your experienced players being the ones that are behind this turnover issue, and what can you do to fix that?
I'm not even sure what to do to fix it. We talk about it. We watch film and talk about it. We drill on things. They just got to make better decisions. They have been in the fire. They've all played somewhere else, so they're fifth-year guys, so that they should understand what we need and what I need out of them. Our guys coming back, they also know what I need out of them. So, even though it's early in the year, we still have to, execute our offense much better than we have been doing these last 3 games. But the only thing is I can take out of it is that it's early. We have 22 more games to go.
If this lack of execution continues from the older guys, do you consider going deeper into your bench and seeing what you have with some of your younger players, or are you not there yet?
I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet.
Got it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, with no other hands, we will head to any questions about, we have one last one from Andy Koska.
Hey, Coach, I apologize if I'm joining late and repeating something. Obviously, West Virginia is very good on the boards. It seemed like late, from the game, you guys kind of controlled what they were doing, but it seemed late that West Virginia kind of got the edge. Was that a lot of in part just to the foul trouble that some of the big men had on?
I think it was a little bit of everything. They intensified their relentlessness, and everybody. One of the things we were talking about all game long, leading up to, and even all week long, leading up to this game, is there has to be a 5-man effort. All 5 have to go to the glass, and they were able to get a few easy basket with their offensive rebounds and even fouls, and that also helped them to win the game.
Okay, thank you. And now we'll have a few questions about Coppin State on Tuesday. First question goes to Ron Bailey from Rivals in the Hoyt Report.
So, Coach, Coppin is going to be smaller than you, but they have multiple people who can put the ball in their hands and make something happen when it breaks down. I mean, how do you prepare for that, and how do you think you'll match up?
Ron, it's funny because I don't know anything about Coppin State right now. All I know about is West Virginia. That's who I take it one game at a time.
Gotcha.
Juan is a great coach. He's done an outstanding job with his team. We've had success against them, but they're a totally different team. Just like you said, they're small. They have their 5 as a 3-point threat, and they all can put it on the floor and get to the hole. But also they got to be able to guard us down the other end.
From a coaching perspective, I know you're trying to beat this drum, but how hard is it to convince young kids that, they might play in the MEAC, but they can still beat you?
Well, shoot, Don Carey, team now, he was from the MEAC, and we talk about that all the time. When we play them, what was your mindset? And he's in here to kick your butt and take your name. So it don't make a difference, and and history has showed it. With all these one and dones, college basketball is not the same as when I was here, when I played, we stayed 4 years or long, 3 or 4 years. So, all the great teams are the teams, make a difference. What conference you're in, you can beat anybody else.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll go to Aiden Curran from 24/7 Sports.
Pat, you've been here for 4 years now, and it seems like with your teams, that you've had a couple of slip-ups against mid-major schools, and then you play teams like a West Virginia or like a Duke last year, really tight. Going into this Coppin State game, how do you get your team to stop playing to the level of its opponents and play with a more consistent, high-level game?
When you look at our team, like I said before, we came on campus late. We started everything late. We're still trying to learn each other. This was our 3rd game. We have one more, our 4th game is against Coppin State, who was a quality team. And I'm not going to say we're playing to the level of our opponent. We played well, but we made some mistakes against UMBC. Navy played a very good second half and was able to beat us. We played we had our opportunities in this game to get a win, but it didn't happen. And, we have Coppin State coming. There's 2 games in a row we would have lost. So I'm sure we'll be coming with a sense of urgency and trying to get this win and going into the Big East play.
Okay, thank you. Our final question of the night is actually sent in from Bobby Bancroft from the Associated Press. So he is going to go back to West Virginia real quick. What was the difference during that final West Virginia run?
Turnovers, and then, lack of defense intensity.
Okay, thank you so much, Coach. We appreciate your time.
You're welcome.